Fuck, we're on number 9. Wow. It's just hitting me that we're already on number 9.
Hey, howdy ho there, everybody there. This is a podcast about our music that we made over the past 12 years. You already know the drill. We're on the year where we put the most amount of effort in, and we are not going to respect that at all with the podcast. It's going to be the same production value because it's hard.
Actually, this is turning... I'm going to turn this into a podcast about how beneficial it is to wear the same pair of clothes for 3 months straight.
Nobody's buying it. We all know that we're lagging.
Once you get past the smell, it's not so bad. Just one less decision you got to make
for 3 months
of wearing the same pair of clothes for 3 months straight.
You're not letting up.
I feel like I'm committing to the.
Thank you, Dad.
Happy number 9.
Number 9.
This one is
number 9.
This one's
number 9. God. You have no idea what reference I'm making, are you?
No, not at all.
That's fine. It'll make sense to maybe Anthony.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony will get it.
All right.
What were you gonna say?
I mean, I'm running out of what you said it. You said it. This is just what else you need to say? This is the best one.
Yeah, no, everything
why
goes...
is it? But why? Why is it the best one?
Why is it the best one?
Why is it the best one?
It's the best one because I was so hype on having a practice space downtown Buffalo, and I was in a punk band, so I was regularly practicing music, and I was actually into it. I felt like it was playing punk music at that time felt like this. I don't know, it felt new, it felt fresh, it felt good, I felt inspired again, and I felt like I wanted to try to make something good because I'm it can't all be shit all the time.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened, literally 3 months after this, and then I lost all that momentum, and I wanted to die.
You're right.
Yeah, this was the last hurrah.
These are the crazy things that I just don't even remember.
I feel like
we're in this close a proximity to the pandemic.
Yeah, I feel like if the pandemic did not happen, we could have been able to keep up that momentum, but dude, I just became super disenfranchised with life at that point, and then I was just I don't know what the fuck. I don't know, man. It was weird because we were at this tipping point. We had a bunch of shows lined up that we were going to play with the Soul Butchers and some other bands and things like that. We did the fucking legwork to try to be
This was the room of the Soul Butchers, right?
Yeah, this was the room of the Soul Butchers, but we split the rent and everything. It was all, for all intents and purposes, it was our room too.
Yeah.
And and then it all just didn't fucking happen, and then it just became a huge bummer again, and I lost all that steam. But yeah, and then this was the year we just decided to make it good. And, and it was a lot of fun. We anticipated this. We started with ideas. We came to the drawing board months prior.
Pretty early. I think I even tossed out the idea of this should be the Bon Iver album. This is the one where we just say fuck it in terms of who is actually a part of this band, and just have more songs. The only song that nobody else is featured on is Up on the Housetop, and that is because we recorded that while we were waiting for people to arrive.
Yeah, we were what can we do? And then we just immediately dropped that song, and we were that was done now, and we were still waiting.
Yeah.
We finished that one so quick too.
I know.
And it still came out good. It was fine.
All of these are fucks. I'll just go right to the smash or pass.
Straight bangers, dude.
Smash, 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 smash.
Straight bangers.
Even Christmas Time Is Over.
That one's fun.
I love that song.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Just made a song that's applause for ourselves twice over.
We fucking deserve it.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny because we prepared and we came to we came to the beginning of the process with so much more prepared than we usually would.
And I think we accomplished more prepared than we ever would be again.
We accomplished so much more in the same amount of time that we usually had. Because it was still a weekend, and that was it.
Also just imagine how different number 9 would be if we just continued following in the footsteps of
dude, I don't think I wouldn't have wanted to keep doing it. I don't think I would have wanted to keep doing it. This was the breath of fresh air. This was our second win.
This was the peak.
And everything else after it's fine.
Yeah, like
it's all fine.
Yeah, it's I think it's even just I think it's just incredible too that like our less notable albums, our worst ones are all like kind of front loaded in our repertoire.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. This album just brings me nothing but what's the total runtime? It doesn't show me. But however many minutes of it, that is how many minutes of just pure joy that I get out of listening to these 7 beautiful tracks. So let's dive.
Let's listen to the first one.
Right the fuck.
My favorite part about this one is that we got like as many of our friends as possible that we could to sing on it.
Like I was having a hard time.
Like 10 seconds of silence, by the way.
Like I had to add no. God damn it! Get out of here! I had to add no spaces into the featuring part of this to fit everybody's name in.
I
had to. Oh, but I had to.
Yeah.
Like, or just like, I feel like there was a name that I had maybe had to shorten at one point. I don't even know. Or like I took out the dot after feet just to put it all in like the 100 character limit or whatever it was.
But so this started all just because I was like, I want to learn how to play this on guitar. And then after that, I was like, okay, we're doing it. Like, I was like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I decided to challenge myself. And then we just did Christmas Time Is Here.
Tom, can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you compliment the bass line again?
Dude, the bass line is so fucking sick because it has this interval that I've never heard, like, play off of each other ever before with, like, anything. It's coming up right here. It's in the descent after like the chorusy part right here. Oh, that was it. And that too.
Also, just
everything about that bass line on that part of the song is so good.
I'm just taking a like I've never, whatever you did in like the mix too, or like however you recorded it, this bass has never sounded this good.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, because like the bass that I've had on hand, I think since I was 16 or 17, is really like a jazz bass. It is meant to be. This is how it is meant to be played. Have I been playing like punk rock on it the entire time? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely in its prime.
I think my favorite part of this song is the fact that it's probably our best played joke.
Yeah.
Because it was the first time that like when everybody was coming in to like play on it or like sing on it, they were just like, where's the joke?
You can see
they're like, this is like good.
Everybody's butt cheeks clenched for like 2 minutes
everybody
straight.
got like just nervous as fuck to sing on it. They're like, I don't want to ruin it. It's just like it's fine, just sing.
Waiting for like a jump scare kind of thing.
Know.
And like it was so interesting too of like this is not a dig on like any of our friends. Like it is just, a lot of people were nervous like coming in before like singing it. It's just not something that like, it is a very vulnerable thing to do that like I think we are just more used to.
Honestly,
in one way or
joke.
another.
Haha, it made you feel.
Exactly. And like so many people were like maybe a little nervous about their voice being a little shaky and everything, but I'm like, even that's just like part of the beauty of like the Vince Guaraldi like original like with the kids choir and everything, like the imperfections of the Charlie Brown Christmas special as a whole are what make it iconic and what make it what it is today. Like just like
I think the only other thing that pissed me off is that I didn't spend enough time practicing brushes to get down the tempo of it quite right. Like there's a couple of misses on like the shh, and I'm like, but I get over it every time.
It never bothers me. It never bothers me.
But yeah,
I fucking love this song, and
it's my favorite Christmas song. Vince Guaraldi songs are all of the best Christmas songs that ever existed. So it's like, I don't know. Like if we could, I would have loved to do Skating.
Yeah. But actually, I was literally just about to ask you if we could do one other Vince Guaraldi Christmas song. What would it be?
We could do that, but it would be so difficult because that one actually is like, if you don't do it up tempo like the way that they do it, it falls flat.
Yeah.
I don't think it would work as well because it's like
I think for me it would be Greensleeves. Is that the one? No. What's the it's not straight up Little Drummer Boy. It's kind of a play on Little Drummer Boy.
Is that the
right?
one
or
where
is
like
it
Linus is, or not Linus? I forget the kid's name who plays piano.
Schroeder.
Yeah, where Schroeder's just kind of playing.
No, I think it. Well, the most definitive part of that song is the kids going like bum 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 bum. Like that's the one that I would want to do.
That one is awesome.
Yeah,
okay,
I forgot what it's called. I think it's like now that I'm thinking about it, I think it is like some kind of play on Little Drummer Boy, or it's not Little Drummer Boy.
You know what you should do right here?
What?
Just if you want while you're mixing, just from your computer's microphone while you're doing it, just like say it right now. Right.
Sometimes these things just come to you at the opportune moment, and
Drats.
That was it.
Okay. All right.
Listen to our Patreon to find out what I just said.
Oh my fucking god! Stop making that joke.
We have a lot to get through.
But yeah, any last things you want to say about that? I mean, that was my favorite one we've done. And
well, I will say that the only reason the bass came together as smoothly as it did, like the only reason that I would have even attempted that is because I just spent. No, I think it was like it must have been like 2 years ago at that point, maybe more than 2 years ago. Oh, now I'm even more impressed in myself because I really kind of because like I would have been in college at the time when I was writing an a cappella arrangement of like of some of the Vince Guaraldi stuff.
Yeah,
the arrangement was like just kind of whatever. It was literally just for one Christmas themed gig and us realizing we have literally no Christmas songs, and but like
yeah,
I'm usually those things like come to me like pretty quickly, but like jazz is obviously a whole other.
It's a whole horse of a different color,
and so it took me like a long time to like really like hone in on like what is the bass doing and like kind of getting it down. And I think because of that I was able to like usually if it's in an arrangement I pretty much internalize it. And I am amazed that I was able to like, 'cause it's like slow moving enough but it's so funky, it's so like just out there with the with how it moves and everything.
It's very chromatic.
If I like I'm sure there's a universe that exists where like you would recorded the guitar and I hadn't had any experience before like with what the bass line would have been, where I would have just been like, oh yeah, let me just plug in the bass and like just do a little bass thing, and then like given up within like 5 minutes.
I'm really glad that you had that experience with it, because otherwise it kind of would have that made it really made it really did, because I mean I was just playing the simple chords of it in the beginning. Like I can do like the full like arrangement form of it, but I did like a different form so that way like people could sing over top of it and it wouldn't be overwhelming. But like basically you were the one shining on that track with that bass line, because it kind of completed the chords.
But like also just I think of all their songs, like this is the one where like the mixing like really like this is like
I tried.
Like
I tried. The reason why the mixing works well is because we had other mics to use. Because I was borrowing a bunch from the Butchers, and they had a bunch of them, and I was like, this is great. Now we can actually make things sound good, because it's already so hard to like try to make it sound. It's really hard to make things sound good with like bad mics. Yeah, like just having a couple of good mics, it's just like it goes up immensely. It's leaps and bounds above.
That there was that like soundproof
the little
chamber, whatever it was. Yeah, that like
he just had like those like the boards that were just kind of foldable. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, everything is.
But then up on the housetop is funny, because the only thing was that it was like you and I just did it like near the door with whatever room we had without having to break anything down.
And
just like went for it.
It works in its own beautiful bastardized way. Also, like, I think I like this album because it's perfectly paced.
Perfectly paced. Oh yeah,
in terms of just like, you know, the track order and everything.
I like this one because it convinces you that we're gonna do the same thing that we always do.
Exactly.
Which is like try really hard, then give up.
Yeah.
And then this is just like the song that we just did because we had time.
Exactly.
Which is nuts that we had time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But still, like, thoughtful with it. Like, you know, like the guitar part for the verses being a little bit more plucky, and then like more legato for like the choruses and everything. And you were on ukulele for this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was
like a fun little like
whatever
you were doing
and
with
I was doing the upbeat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was literally with my fingers.
I think you do another shenanigan at one point.
No, you do the whip right here.
Oh yeah.
That was you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
But yeah, no, and then the only other thing was like I switched between my natural voice and just being Santa.
Right. No, but like it's those little like we're gonna dip into like, you know, the silliness here because like, you know, no one would do that for like any other like thing. I don't know, like, but it's not. But no one's like trying like too hard to like, you know, go over the top. No one's trying to. You know, no one's like.
Yeah, it's just is what it is. It's
you know, like there was never. Just in general with like all of this music, there was never a point where we had kind of like bracket insert joke here. You know,
yeah, there
like,
is.
Like what?
What was it? That's the Jingle Bell Rock. That's the Jingle Bell, and then we started an argument.
Well, no, I never. No, like in the way of like that was like the joke was like part of the conception of the song. Like I meant more in that there was never a song we were like, okay, well, but it needs a joke kind of thing. And like we never like thought we never thought to like, you know, if a song was taking itself like just neutrally or seriously, like we never like, you know, I'm not saying all of our jokes landed, but
none of them landed. Nobody's listening to these, so yeah, of course none of them landed.
We were failures the entire time.
That's fine. I don't care.
I'm fine with that.
I enjoyed making it. Let's do a Deste Fidelis. Feed your wife.
With my wife.
My wife.
This song is like an interesting examination of one's own self-critique, because like everybody, like, you know, everybody who listens to this is like, holy shit, Robin, like that's like nuts that like, you know, that she can sing like that, you know, that she is classically trained. And Robin like hates listening to herself on this because
Dude,
like
I get upset about this song because I'm like rushing, dragging on the drums,
right,
and it's not consistent, and then I'm like, god damn it ruins her take.
Exactly. We made Robin look bad.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Like, I feel the other way around.
Yeah, I forgot that there's synths in this. Like I was like in my head like this was like a Trans-Siberian Orchestra, like you know,
it works.
Yeah, and it didn't have like the full stadium like hugeness of a Trans-Siberian Orchestra thing, and I feel like that might be like, I don't know, or like,
I lament not giving this another crack on the drums, and then also because like I could have made it more bombastic with that.
Yeah,
because I just played it straight because I was afraid of fucking up, and I just fucked up anyway.
Yeah, but it's like no one's paying attention to us. Like Robin is stealing the show here.
Yeah, of course. That's the whole point. Because this is where it picks up.
Yeah. I feel like I could have used more reverb.
For what?
Just for a cheap shot at making it sound bigger and fuller.
I should have made her voice louder here because it gets drowned, but
and that's just me being like a shitty lazy mixer, and I'm just like, you sound more full. Reverb up all the way. Yeah, we're good there.
Don't you like ended out with it being like reverb like crazy.
Probably, yeah. No, I think it definitely
Because
comes
I was
in
just
later.
running with whatever take you gave me.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we started with she recorded the vocals before we did the song.
yeah. That was the other challenging part. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
No, like
It is still pretty like epic and bombastic.
No, it definitely
and
is,
still really
and,
cool.
and I think the only reason that we're that we might be like slacking here and there is literally just because it's hard to, even though it feels like it shouldn't be, because it's all just a click track at the end of the day, but starting with vocals first is really hard to like go back.
It's
and
such a strange thing to do because
why
like,
do you think that might be?
what?
That like vocals being recorded first.
Oh, because dude, it's weird because it's like you're not unless you're really used to singing, which she is. Unless you're really used to singing a cappella, like the voice follows the music as opposed to the other way around.
I think
you know what I mean?
I think how I recorded it was like I just took the chords and I just put them on a piano roll, like no like tempo to them or anything. They were just like bam, bam, just to like
you didn't put it to a click track.
I put it to a click track.
Oh, okay.
But there was no like feeling in the music. There was nothing like driving. There was nothing like cueing any kind of vocal performance, and like she still like obviously killed it, but like then we kind of have to like do it around
it's because we're not all working at the same time and we're not
exactly
all, like, so if like I don't know, like if we had like different visions for it, or like we feel like we have conflicting feels and in the way the rhythm runs, it's like there's no way to like remedy it. It's just like you just have what you have and
exactly
you're done. Like because it's like we can't. I'm not going to ask her to record it again when we're at this stage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
but
just
like,
the way it is.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
Some things will never change.
But like it still fucks.
Yeah, but it definitely still fucks.
Yeah,
and then God Rest Ye.
God Rest Ye
really fucks, and I love this. Let's talk about the story of it before we start playing it.
Yeah,
because dude, we started out. I was just like, I think we have to make like kind of a rappy song, like a rap song. Just to make up for the whole entire like.
Wait, so what's going to be interesting is like your starting point to this song is going to be completely different from my starting point to this song. Yeah. We are both going to like we both have our own like builds upon this song that we end up right in the middle at this masterpiece. Yeah. So
it started with you recording your friend Matt Vigard doing the tuba.
Yeah. Or like you narrate your path first, and I will.
Dude, I didn't have anything coming into this.
You kind of did, like you were the one that like you said you wanted to do like the more like we wanted to build upon the trap remix of Alice's Restaurant, but not just a rehash of that.
Oh yeah. It wasn't just like I wanted to like take the song and then just do something goofy over top of it. I was just like, we got to have some kind of like original sound source.
Yeah.
So like you just told me that you had a friend who played tuba, and I was like, we should have him do God Rest Ye. Or God Rest You, Mirror Gentlemen. Yeah. And then not tell him what's going to happen next.
Yeah, because we didn't
Because
know.
I was like, we just get him on a click track, and I was like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And like the first thought I had was like, I gotta blow this out. Like I gotta make it like like I need to make it not sound like a tuba so much. And I was like, it's definitely going to be distorted. It's definitely going to be mega compressed because like it just has like this really cool like fuzzy element to it, and then like even like the inhales on it kind of add like this really that was the cool
thing. Like Matt specifically was like, I need to make the biggest inhale I possibly can for this, and we like redid the take so he could inhale louder.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's funny.
And then like there was like in the break in the middle, you cannot even hear it because we're just so distracted by like fucking saxophone and you going like bam bam bam.
Oh yeah. So you need to have like the ad-lib.
But he in that entire part where he's not playing, he's just going like going right back into it from there.
So like like it started with you coming with the tuba track in like a beat. And I'm like, this beat's fucking goofy. I love it. I was like, this. I don't know if this works, but we're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
And I was like, I already have a vision. I was like, Trevor Seva has a fucking saxophone.
Yeah.
That's just nobody knows how to play it. And I'm like, that's perfect, because like a lot of like weird sounds on like a lot of like music that I was hearing at that point in time that were produced, it's just like they don't really have to lend to the musicality of it. And I was just like, make it squeak.
Yeah.
I was like, make that thing squart. And I was just like, just fucking whatever you do with it, like the noises, we'll use them somehow. I'll chop them and put them in there.
And like honestly, like I've never touched a saxophone in my life. Like you have to have at least some skill and know-how with it to know how to make
you need
those
the proper
like
embouchure. You need to wet the reed. You need to do all this shit. I don't got that time.
Yeah.
You know what I got time for?
Yeah. Someone sex.
Someone's and then just like I was like, I'm just gonna put in a bunch of like random like ad libs, and just my favorite, like the funniest thing was like when I did gentlemen,
I love
and then
that.
like Alex was just losing his mind over it. It was so funny.
I feel like I end up saying that casually here and there.
Gentlemen.
I don't know when or where I came up with these lyrics, but this was mind you, this was the year of Sicko Mode.
Oh my god.
and like you know, kind of a lot of those kinds of songs, and I was just like, I just want to be mumbling this entire time.
You did great.
Like like
you can play it. I think we should play it now.
I think it's time to play it, because I feel like even after spending like minutes talking about it, we are still missing key elements that are going on here. Again, perfect balance of me keeping it more low key and you going a little bit more
yeah, the whole thing is that your face is all up close in the mic, and mine sounds like I'm like way out there.
Exactly.
So like that, it balances. Yeah, it does balance. Yeah.
God. See if you can hear him breathe. Bow, bow. Barely. It's really the saxophone that like completes it, that pushes it over the top. We got good behavior. God rest ye. Speaking of cancel culture.
Yeah, no, you were like talking, and I was just like, I'm just feeling it.
Wait, do you remember this image? I'm sure I can.
I'm sure you can find it, but like,
put it up on the screen. I literally just found it.
I understate how much that saxophone did, because I was just.
Are you gonna cancel for this?
No, we're not gonna get fucking.
You're such a fucking ho. I love it.
I forgot, dude. That was so timely. That was like relevant.
I don't know where I came up with that.
That was great though. Yeah. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Sometimes I can be with it.
Yeah.
I'm not always that out of touch.
But that was yeah. I really think that. Like pound for pound, the saxophone, for having somebody playing it that has no idea what they were doing with it, did so much work.
Honestly,
because like I was like, these are more like sound effects. These aren't like musically helpful. And I remember I cut a lot of what Trevor did in there. Mm-hmm. And then I just like moved certain ones to like this rhythmic point where I'm like, it needs something there.
Oh, did you?
Needs something there.
Oh, so you really did
like,
chop it up. I was just under the impression that that's just what he did, but no, that's news to me. That's
I made
great.
them more deliberate.
Yeah. No, it's like what I did with. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead, but that's kind of like with Nathaniel's donkey noises for the next album. Yeah, putting it in the right spot that complements it. Yeah. That's great. Fuck, I love this song. This song came up at so Matt's partner Berkeley had a birthday party a couple of weeks ago, and we went to their birthday party last year, and they're committed.
Okay. Yeah. I was just like, I thought that wasn't a thing. Do you want to like change the way you're saying this?
Partner is the best way to put it at this point in time.
Okay.
We love you guys. And so well, it was actually they dug up their party playlist from last year. Yeah. That Robin just added a bunch of dumb shit to.
Whoa! Ayo.
Caught that.
Robin added a bunch of what?
Robin just added a bunch of trash music to. and this was on there.
This was on there?
Yeah, this was on there.
That popped up?
Yeah, but we had no idea that this birthday party was going to be mostly Berkeley's family. But like it wasn't like the party stopped when this came on, but it came on, and like, you know, we had our own little appreciation circle. I had nothing to do with it, and that's that's the best feeling, when like everybody else around you voluntarily wants to hear your shitty song.
How did that go? Like,
it was just
what was said?
It was just a minute and 7 seconds of us just like, as one does while listening to that song. Yeah, okay, exactly. Cool. Like, it was kind of when like things were still getting going. Berkeley had some responsibilities of like, you know, putting like still shit out on the table and everything. But it was a good time. The song comes up on the regular in the Vijard household.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, that makes me so happy.
Oh, this song I always kind of Joy to the World. Yeah,
it's just a straight cover. It's
the joke is more in its existence than its execution.
Yeah, like there wasn't really much we had to do beyond just play it.
This was the one that I begged for.
Oh yeah, dude, I was very much so kind of opposed to this at first, but I was like, whatever. I was like, it's easy to drum. You're gonna do most of the work. I did a lot of the legwork on some of the other ones, and I'm like, you can deal with this.
Look, this at my family's Christmas, it got my dad's like subtle nod of approval, and that's all I need.
That's all he did. That's the only acknowledgement towards that song.
But like,
that's a bummer, because that was all for him.
No. That was that's all I need. That's all I need from him. That's like when I just get the, because it wasn't like a.
Did he like the bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was more than just the kind of nod. It was the. And like, from your boomer dad, that means everything.
Yeah, it does.
That means I can die knowing that I.
If my dad did that to me, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, Paul. Like, I don't know. I got a weird relationship with my dad.
I get you.
You know what's funny? You chose to do this in the solo, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then I was like, that's how it actually is.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the solo. And I'm like, that was such an interesting choice of theirs.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought you were making the weird choices. It was the band already.
The band, like, any like real guitarist knows how to add a lot more soul into it. And I was just like, and that's how I play all my guitar solos, and I'm all right with it. Most of the time.
Mine usually are me jumping off of a cliff.
I'm all right with that
parachute.
Too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then everybody else comes in right here.
Yeah.
Dude,
this made up for maybe not made up, but this is what like we no longer need a canceled colonized Christmas by Band-Aid, now that the group effort backing vocals, the group effort belting tenory male vocals on a couple too many krails.
Oh god, God, what an era. Dude, this was almost fucking 4 years ago.
This sounds great. I don't care what it is. I love this ending. Except I just didn't realize that it was ending that quickly, so I kind of end on a weird riff, but it's fine.
I don't know if I ever told you. Bless you. I don't know if I ever told you this. I did not listen to that song before I recorded that.
Yeah.
And I think it only took me like 2 takes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a simple song structure, and I feel like I can cobble this together well enough based off of my memory of the song. And it just worked. And I was like, all right, thank God, because I really didn't want to have to like listen to it and figure it out.
But greater question that like maybe this is something that I would have like asked your take on years and years and years ago, or this might have come up in conversation at some point, but now I'm asking it in a serious way, because I'm like, for not just for me, but for anybody who is like just relatively interested in music and are like, oh, I know a drummer. How easy is it to just walk blindly into a song that like maybe a guitarist or like a frontman of a band is just like, yeah, just drum over it?
It depends. That really just depends.
Give me your thoughts,
dude. Because you heard me playing at Deste Fidelis, right? Mm-hmm. And I was sloppy. I was everywhere. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, I'm getting the tempo all wrong. I'm playing slower than I usually do. Like with the rock style shit, it's just like, this is fucking easy. Mm-hmm. Like I got the feel for the song. I've heard the song many times before, like just throughout the past, but I've never like gone ahead and tried to play. Mm-hmm. It all depends, man. It's because if it's like, oh, somebody's like, yeah, can you just kind of like do like kind of like a jazz beat? And I'm like, I only got like a couple that I can kind of rip out. Mm-hmm. I don't have much.
I gotcha.
Punk beats, it's just like, what's the tempo? Okay, go.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's all the same shit. Like you can just work something out.
Yeah.
It depends. There's been times where I just like walk in and I'm like, okay, I got this fully realized in my head. I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
And then there's times where I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this.
Right.
I feel like a good drummer would be like, it's easy. Mm-hmm. And they'd be like, you got your measures doing this, and then you got your measures doing something else, and then you're good. Mm-hmm. But I'm not that guy. I'm just some guy.
On a greater level, do you like if someone were to be like, yeah, just drum and give you like, you know, little to no direction, and let's say it's like an original song too, not something that you can like previously reference. Like, is there a level of like condescension or is that a word? Like, is that a...
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I say fuck you. Like, I would say fuck you to somebody that was like, just drum. Uh-huh. And I'm like, dude, like, do you want to actually, like, it would be, like, when I was in the band with Alex and Chet, mm-hmm. It was all instrumental shit. Like, mm-hmm. dude, I like, really, like, was like, I'm not gonna just fuck around on top of this. I'm going to start with my best idea and try to like transform it into something. Mm-hmm. But like just saying like, oh no, just play, like that would just drive me fucking nuts. It's like, I want to know where I'm going, mm-hmm. because I'm not like, that leads to so many missteps. It's just like, that fill is weird there because like you did a really big fill, like 2 measures before, or like a measure before it ended. And so it's just like, there was like just a measure where I like played the same beat and then I switched real hard. Yeah. I'm like, and I'm just catching up. And it sounds stupid because you're just like, this isn't what I'm doing right now doesn't best fit, so I'm not switching at the same time that you are. Yeah. Or like anticipating the switch. Mm-hmm. Like I'm all about playing with musicality when it comes to drumming because I'm like, what other job do I have? Right. Like I'm just hitting shit. Yeah. And I'm like, I got to do what best serves the song, and I'm not like writing the song, you know? Yeah, it's not I guess in a way I am, but it's in a way that like is outside of what they're thinking. Right, like you got to be brought into some kind of like vision and awareness of like kind of the grander scope of like, it. Yeah, I listen to what they're doing, and I try to go for what I think they're going for because they like a lot of it, like. For me, if I'm playing guitar and I talk to the drummer, we can figure something out verbally. Yeah. For like if it's me and I'm talking with Alex and Chet, there's nothing verbal that they can convey to me that would help me understand what they want. Yeah. Sometimes they'll go, and I'm like, that's right. I'm like, I don't know. Like it's not. This isn't a perfect 1-to-1, but it's almost like the fix it in post kind of mindset of like, or like not even the fix it in post, just like here's a bunch of raw files, do something with it. Yeah, which I've been given too many. That has happened to me too many times. It's just so like insulting. It is insulting. But you're like, if they give you, if they're like, hey, you'll figure it out. Like, I'm like, okay, that's fine. There's a difference between like being given like creative freedom and then just like being completely exactly. I've always just been curious about that, especially because that's kind of how this all started for me, because I was like, Tom, you can just play whatever drums over whatever I'm playing, right? Well, at that time I was like, whatever, exactly, because like, I don't care. I was a kid and I was like just learning, and we were both just getting started with literally we were just fucking around, and it wasn't anything seriously. It worked forever. It wasn't even a band at that point in time. I think it was just one. It was just anyways, well, the rest of it. Oh fuck! Which one's this one? Oh, dude, this one is my favorite on the album.
Yeah.
Just because I had this. This was my Grand Vision song.
Mm-hmm.
This was the... I'm going to get my buddy who's really fucking good at guitar to rip this because, like, I could do, like, the chords and shit, and I came up with the chords and everything like that. But, like, I need him to do, like, a little weird little extra solo, and I need somebody who can chug better.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got everything fucking hammered out myself.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This was fun.
Dude, you were straining so hard though because we should have gone in a lower key or something.
Oh, I don't give a shit. If you gone one half step higher, instant nodes. But this is as high as I could have gone. It's not.
But the whole
good
thing
singing.
is that my screaming would have been lower too, and I would have enjoyed that more.
No, that is true. I've always kind of liked my bass on this. I've always kind of I never get to play like real chunky stuff, and like all it was just me drop tuning it to D and then just hitting that a bunch of times and letting Travis pull all the weight on that. Oh man, this was fun for me too because I had very little to do with the concept and the execution of the song, but it feels like the vision for Silent Night on year one finally came. Yeah. Because in my head, I was I was listening.
You had a grand vision, but with no execution,
zero talent to be able to, or not even just talent, but just not even the right equipment, the completely inappropriate distortion pedal for that. It was honestly your drumming that kind of carried it through, and it's it's kind of its own thing of just sludgy whatever, but this is representative of the genre that it is supposed to be,
Yeah. I mean, I would never try to pass this off as real metal, but it's the perfect approximation for what we needed.
Yeah.
You dogging it.
You can hear my voice, just in less than a minute and a half, just completely shot. Oh God, here we go. This is not good singing, but
just leave it playing. We'll just listen into the last song after it. We did it. Okay, it's done. Travis saying my balls are stuck to my leg is so good.
It kills me every time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our best piece of work that we've ever put together.
I feel like we should win an award or something.
The best mediocre thing ever done.
Yeah.
I don't the king of the biggest fish in the pond.
The biggest. Well, that happened.
Oh, I hate that phrase.
I'm sorry.
Oh, whatever. Okay. But yeah. That one, yeah, like I said, it was just my I had a grand vision for the way that we could do that song.
Yeah.
And that's what came out.
It came together beautifully, and I think it's one of the only songs, if not the only song, unless I think it is the only song that it would have been practiced beforehand with two other people. Yeah, or a separate date other than the recording of this album that one or more that at least one musician has met to coordinate with the other to bring this to life. Because we would practice by ourselves and stuff like that if we really had a vision, or there's stuff that I started recording by myself in the later albums just to save time and whatever, but only one that I remember any kind of
there was real preparation.
Yeah,
there was time. I remember I was just I want to record this and be done with it. I don't want to record it several times the day of when we don't have time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was hey, come hang out with me. Let's do this. Let's hammer it out. And he was so on board. I think it was the year before that he's I want to be in this.
Yeah.
And I'm really?
blows my mind, and like I'm honestly like genuinely flattered like how many people in our lives are just like, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah, it is. It's so
or just
fun.
like so many, especially like after, or like if the bulk of your music experience was either in high school or like college, and that's kind of when it stopped, like so many people are just starved to like just get music out again. Like, you know, again, to bring up my friend Matt, like, you know, he's looking for an excuse to play tuba so fucking badly. He just wants to play his tuba, and he has no one to play it with.
Oh, dude,
him and
that's
like
a shame.
Robin was almost gonna buy a French horn, so like the two of them can like jam out together.
Dude.
Yeah.
Remind me to show you the Graceland McCullough Tigers after this, because
Cool.
it's trombone music, but like I feel like you could slam a tuba in there and it would be very helpful.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's just like, I'll show you.
Yeah,
Anyways.
please do.
But yeah,
This
yeah,
is
I
a
feel
10
like
out
people
of 10.
get this is our 10 out of 10
This is
album for sure.
9.8 out of 10.
What? Why? What's the point two? Where is it?
I don't believe in perfection.
Fuck you. It's a 10. You're a piece of shit. Well, then why not a 9.9?
9.89.
Fuck you.
No, this is a perfect album. This is a perfect
Sure.
album. Who am I
No, I
kidding?
don't believe you
Who
anymore.
am I kidding?
No, this is my favorite one just because I had so much fun making it, and I had so much it was one of the this is going to sound really depressing. I feel like it was one of the last times I felt like really truly inspired to do something. Like
Yeah.
I was like, there wasn't a moment of pause in my body where I was like, okay, gotta do this. Like, I was just like, I get to do this.
Yeah.
It was my last, I get to do this.
Wow. Yeah. Like, I mean, I kind of...
Which is sad,
I don't know
because I wish it had yielded better, success.
But it's like, you know, obviously we're playing together now, like with the other guys, like, in, you know, completely music that has no representation to this whatsoever, but
music that doesn't require a certain time of year to listen to.
Exactly. And I've loved doing it, like, you know, so much, but I feel like it's just it's not because of the nature of what it is, or like, you know, I feel this way with like filmmaking too. It's not the nature of like what I'm doing, but it is kind of the fact of like, once you get past a certain age, and if like you really want to commit to something like this, there is just always going to be that background pressure of like, but I gotta make it good. Like I gotta like, you know, follow through on these like necessary steps to make this like, you know, something that is worthy of like, you know, being listened to and enjoyed by others.
I think that I kind of disagree. I feel like I stopped being like, it has to be good. I'm like, it can just be what it is.
Yeah.
And what I put into it and what I get out of it is the real product.
Yeah.
Like if it's music that I like, I'm like, I'm good with it. If it's music that people don't like, I'm like,
right,
it's fine. And then I'm like, if I put more pressure on myself, I'm just gonna have another thing to be stressed about. I'm not gonna have something that I enjoy. It's already so hard to fucking feel that way anymore.
Yeah. My toxic trait with creativity right now is like, I judge if what I do is good enough based on if someone else did it worse.
Wow. That's brutal,
Or
dude.
if someone who is more successful than I am did it worse. And I'm talking about like stupid, like dumb mistakes, or like, you know, just like I don't consider myself like fully proficient with like every aspect of filmmaking, but probably the thing that I am like, that I feel more above with most other people is like in the editing, because like I see so many people that just make really sloppy and stupid like editing choices.
Yeah.
And
I feel like this also needs to be prefaced with checking out Dave's YouTube channel and not watching the stupid fucking Christmas videos, because that's not what he's referring to.
But honestly though, like there is still like, you know, a lot of intention that like I put into like, you know, stupid like comedic timing.
There's
of
clearly
things.
a huge step up.
Yeah, like
in your channel.
I mean, the channel is the culmination of a lot of things for me.
Yeah.
But like, you know, even with like music too, or like, you know, if I hear like if I just hear like a professional basis, like I'm not even saying like, someone who's playing like worse than me, but someone who's like playing a simpler bass line than me, or someone who's playing as simply as me, I'm just like, well, I did my job. Like, I did the thing that is on par with someone else. So fuck it. I'm good. I'm not going to be a perfectionist about it. I'm not going to beat myself up over it.
Yeah, if I start comparing myself to others, I immediately start to be like, yeah, my thing's more interesting, but I didn't do it as good. Or like, I'll be like, I can't make something simple sound good. Yeah. I'm like, I can't keep comparing myself to others because I'm like, I like I said, I don't know if it was this episode or the last episode. Imposter syndrome is like just my life. Right. That's all I get. Yeah. I just don't feel like I'm enough, and it's if I keep comparing myself, I'm never gonna get anything out of it.
Right.
I don't know how you can get through it, but good on you.
I don't even know. I feel like it's not as like constant for me, but I feel like there are like major, or I feel like I get more my like doom and gloom comes from this idea of like how did you get there and I didn't. And so much of it comes down to just life circumstances, like anything from like maybe people who are my age that are slightly further in their career than I am, or like all the way up to the top of like if when people's like parents are blue on Wikipedia kind of thing, like,
dude, honest to God, like aside from like just your like okay, say any kind of background, like obviously there's going to be privilege with things, and most of the time the real defining trait is just like it's luck. It really is. It's just right place, right time, and or just knowing the right person. Because honest to God, nepotism gets you everywhere. It gets you everywhere. If you don't know a guy, it doesn't matter what you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
It fucking sucks. It's stupid. Sometimes there's like those like, and it's crazy because like people use cases where like this person is so radically good at the thing that they do and that gets them in, and it's just like not everybody's there though, and you can't use that as the standard because that's insane. That's insane. Not everybody can be a savant at something. Anyway, that's my rant. Well, anyways, what would you tell yourself in 2019?
2019?
Or what would you ask yourself in 2019? Invest in a bunch of Dogecoin right now. Shit. And please fucking sell it when it gets really big. Don't keep hanging on to it. Just, like it's all bullshit. All crypto is bullshit. Just make a quick buck and ruin some other fucking loser's life that just can't stop saying to the moon. If you see Elon Musk, murder him. But yeah, that's it.
Cool. I don't know. What would I tell myself in 2019? This was like... I feel like it is similar to what I said last time. I think this was the year that I started like no longer feeling like I was just stuck in my life, that I could, that there, or like, I don't believe that anybody can just take full control of their lives. Like, that's kind of bullshit. Anybody that's like saying like you're in control of everything, like no, like most, like I feel like I heard that there's some kind of like scientific study out there of like there's a very small percentage of your life that you are actually in control of. But it's also just like, this was when like only a couple months. I don't know, just thinking about it, like this time, like the latter half of 2019 into the beginning of 2020, before the little pandy. I don't like calling it that. I don't know why it came out, but like I don't think I would. I don't think I would have done it. I can at least tell myself that I wouldn't have done anything differently in this point in my life.
Okay.
Which is not something I can say about many points in my life, because like I really wanted to travel abroad, like by myself.
Yeah.
I went to Norway for that week. I never did anything like that in my life, and that was just like, that was more than just like a fun little jaunt to me. That was me just being like, yeah, fuck you, I can do this. I can get on I'm a fucking adult. I can get on a plane. Like I can like
just go somewhere.
Yeah, I can do that
just
for myself.
You want to.
And because that lined up like literally 3 days after I get back is when Trump gets on TV and is like, we're shutting everything down. And like, but like, I'm kind of amazed that like, I mean, I think because I took that trip, I kind of got into my head of like, everything's weird, everything's different, like, you know, and I'm just kind of like, and I had to navigate like just things that I just didn't understand, like a foreign language, like navigating like these cities and like this public transportation, just in like, you've been to Germany, like, you know how it is, like, you know, there it's a completely different world. And like,
I'm going to be entirely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a bunch of different places, and I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the same. I didn't feel differently. I was just like, a lot of these people know English.
Yeah.
I feel like in Norway, probably a lot of people know English.
A lot of people did know English.
Yeah,
it is like, shit hits different when you're by yourself, though.
Well, I was kind of.
I guess you were.
I guess not in the same way, because I was hanging out with Anthony, but like there was like I wasn't just like I wasn't there with like my partner. I wasn't like I had some familiar people, but it's also like anytime I was by myself, I was just like, yeah, like. Everything feels the same.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel very different. Like it did not feel like I was on the other side of the world. Like it was a very strange feeling where I was like, I should feel different.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Like what's going on? Like, and I just felt kind of comfortable with wherever I was.
Yeah. I think for me too, that even just like further cements that was like a moment in my life where I really felt like I was really transforming from like, you know, like into just someone who can get into these like weird unfamiliar situations and be like, yeah, I'm here and I'm gonna figure it out, you know. Like, you know, and I think that it's almost like that because of the pandemic, that mindset did not turn off. Like the day I go back to work, like, is the day that we are like that I'm in the news car traveling up to Syracuse, because the fact that Syracuse University shut down its classes for the rest of the semester, like was as the first like higher education in the area that decided to do that because of COVID. And that was the biggest story, that like Binghamton News was going to travel all the way up to Syracuse, even though Syracuse has their own damn news station, that it was big enough for that to be covered. Like, that was like kind of the start of like, shit's getting weird. But I remember at least still staying in that mindset, which is like wild. Like the mindset of like, I'm in a different country.
Yeah.
Cause I guess in some ways I was.
Jesus Christ, dude. That was good. I like the way you made that wrap together. Yeah, I guess for me, like I traveled there, like quote unquote post pandemic. It's never fucking over. COVID still exists.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's whatever. But
yeah, you know, I'm starting calling it like post vaccine.
Post-vaccine,
like after vaccine, like that stuff did change. Like, you know, obviously COVID is not over, but like the landscape in which we socialize and interact with the rest of the world, I think was the major turning point.
I think it's just really weird to still say post-pandemic, because like for a long time,
it still doesn't sit right.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sit right, because it's just like, well, you know, it's still around. You know, people still get it. People can still die from it.
Exactly.
It's at this point, it's
we
more
literally just had it last month.
It's more like the flu in the way that people were talking about it in the beginning of the pandemic, because now we actually have the real mitigation between. Yeah. I don't want to get into this. Anyways,
we know what you mean.
Post-pandemic, it's such a weird thing, because like I don't know. I guess I went to Germany and Amsterdam and traveled through there and all that, and I was expecting to feel different because I wanted to, and I got nothing. But what I did get was hanging out with Anthony, which was, I don't know. I feel like I went there going like, I'm not going there to see things. I'm not going there to be a tourist. I'm going there to spend time with my friend.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, why else would I be going there? I mean, like, I know one person from Bremen, like, who is natively there, but it's also like, well, my friend Alex and my friend Anthony are there, and I want to hang out with them. And his wife Clara is really cool, and I like hanging out with her too.
This trip was a friend reunion that just so happened to be in Germany.
Yeah, and they were like all about getting me around to places and like seeing things. Yeah, like, I don't really give a shit. I was just like, we can do whatever, dude. Yeah, like we can just walk to the store and just drink a beer. I don't care. Like, it was fine. Like, it was really cool. I think my favorite part was actually just like meeting all the people that I've been hearing stories about, and then just kind of like having connections to that. Yeah. And then just knowing those people and shit. It was a lot of fun.
It does give you like a broader
but like
perspective.
As far as it didn't, I don't know, nothing, I don't know, it didn't hit me all that much that I was in a different place. Anyways, that has nothing to do with the year of 2019.
Anyway. One could make an argument, but I'm not going to.
I don't know. Everything kind of... It is weird that like the blur of the years prior to this is completely different from the blur of years after.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like I remember, like, because it is more recent, like I remember all this shit, but like right before it, like I got a blank slate, dude. Like I try to really dig up memories before the pandemic, and it's harder. Yeah. It's like a lot harder.
It is. Like, even if it feels like there is kind of a wall there.
Yeah, like it became this barrier because it was like not to like diminish it, but like for everyone, it provided trauma.
Yeah,
like it was just like, of course it's fucking traumatic that everybody gets shut off from the world for a bit. Yeah. And everybody is feeling alienated, and then everybody's got opinions on fucking everything. Yeah. Because nobody has anything to do other than to create opinions on just anything. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that's cool.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a cup of hot cocoa, and baby, don't wake me up before you go. Good night.